Greetings and welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G. I'm your host, Dr. G, and I'm so glad that you could keep our appointment. We have an exciting program tonight. I know y'all said, well, where's the long version of the intro? Well, I didn't use it today because I believe that my guests tonight will introduce themselves. In the long one, you'll know who they are, but titles, we were just talking about titles, versus who are we at the core of who we are. And so my two guests tonight are Sister Zion Tafari El Bey and Sister Cee Asiah Universal Bey, and y'all know me, Dr. G. But before we go any further, especially you sisters, we need you to press that and share, particularly with the sisters, because I'm even going to, what I think, ladies, sisters, I want to do tonight. There might be a sister or two in the audience, if you will, that we might want to bring into the conversation. So somebody, one or two of you may have an opportunity to come on camera and be a part of this, because we are just a small, minute part of the whole picture, the whole puzzle that makes us who we are. And we want to have the discussion about when sisters stand on common ground. And I am so excited to be addressing this particular topic, because it's like a precursor to the war. The women are ready, and it's just something else, to talk about. So when we come together now, almost 400 strong have signed up. So, but this is something that I believe needs to be discussed, so that we can possibly open the eyes of more sisters, more of the women, more of the matriarchs, regardless of whether you're, an elder. And we've had, I know now through Mama Callie Sitchin that there's an on fire elder, Sister Moore, out in the Midwest, who's like 90 something and raring to go. So, we don't have any excuses. We have excuses whatsoever about we can't, and we we got too many of this. If an elder in her 90s is still in the fight,
absolutely,
then need to step on in. What you say? Or they say, yes, what say you?
Definitely, yes,
absolutely.
And welcome to this program, especially since I decided to do it on such a short notice, and you all were so gracious as to agree to come on. And so again, we're going to be talking, y'all, about what could happen when and probably will happen when we begin to put aside those so-called differences and stand on the common ground of the things that we share in common, especially the melanated, Aboriginal, Indigenous sisters that we are. I'm going to start with you, Sister Zion, because I know that you and I have been talking for about almost a month now.
Yes.
And I don't know, some of you might have remembered or recalled I was trying to get her on when Empress Ganda L was on the program, and we were having problems getting her on. And so I'm so happy that we were able to come together, at least on this subject matter, because it's so important. But please tell us a little bit about, you are an activist and an entrepreneur by your own admission. But
yes, by my own birthright, like us all.
Yeah.
I am greetings to everyone, and I am so thankful and grateful to be here, Dr. G. And it's just that it is imperative. I'm going to go straight to it, because we have been talking, meeting, talking, and meeting, but we have been separate. We haven't been together in regards to all of the indigenous people worldwide, but we're gonna stick with where we are here in the Americas. And I want to welcome my sister, my new sister, Universal
Cee Asia.
Asiah Universal Bey.
Yes.
No worries.
Universal Bey, excuse I,
No worries.
in regards to addressing this alongside with I. Sisters, women, mothers, daughters, aunties,
Yes.
grandmothers, I'm calling on you because we have been separated. We don't talk. We're not concerned about one another and the things that we have been faced with since conception. And the thing is that we have the power to change it all. And it's through love, and it's through coming together to identify and to address what has been, what has plagued us in regards to pain, separation, and denial. Our community has suffered in such a prolific way to where we've become desensitized, and we're just going along with the status quo. And the status quo is that it is not our status, and we need to correct it. And how we're going about correcting it is informing ourselves, bridging these gaps that are really not gaps, and coming to the forefront to, I'm going to say, dash away all of the things that have plagued us and really has kept us apart.
Yes.
And it has really damaged our abilities to speak wholeheartedly about whatever might be plaguing us, whether if it's personal or within our communities.
Yes.
And our communities are suffering by us not talking. And I'm not saying to be repetitive, but it is to be repetitive at this time because it's so much that is covered up from us that we don't have a clue that really stands for our morals, our immorality, our ability to be able to stand on truth and right. And we have become conditioned that being separate and being separated has become a real problematic problem because we don't even speak to one another.
No.
How are we going to be able to bridge the gap and heal and correct what has been done, because it's correctable?
Yes.
And being a mother, being a sister, being a wife, being a girl, all of these titles are to be empowering.
Most definitely.
Because we are the mothers of existence.
Yes.
In the sense of our bloodline, in regards to how, humanity got here.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So we have to be able to stand together.
Of course.
And we haven't. And I'm talking about now, I don't know how many people are listening, I've reached out to a couple of people to let them know that we are willing to, I know that I'm willing to go anywhere to speak to my sisters, stand with my brothers, and to work to establish and to repair all of the generational curses, problems, whatever has plagued us, it can be, we can solve it,
Yes.
you know. And I'm going to rest here and I'm going to open up the floor so we can, generate this energy, because it's a momentum that we're going to have to face now, and we can do it. We can come together, just like they have. I'm going to say this, and this is going to be the last thing that I say for a little while. They have systematically brainwashed us into being able to, quote unquote, follow their manual.
Yes, they have.
And we have to realize that the divine gave us a manual.
Yes.
That we're not upholding.
Yes.
And I know that the reason why we're all here, because initially when I went to log on, I didn't get I didn't get any accessibility at first. And I didn't get frustrated because I knew who was in control of all of this.
Of course.
And I knew that I was going to get through to be able to represent not only my airship and our airship, but our whole indigenous community globally. So we're here, and I'm gonna not say anything
we're gonna talk some more about specifically what you do.
That was wonderful,
Clan mother, because that's interesting to me.
Yes.
We have not discussed what it is, your responsibilities are in that sense, but just as a way of introducing yourself, Sister Cee Asiah. I know you because you have been you are a member of the House of Reawakening Minds volunteer team. You are a team member, a bona fide team member who has rolled up your sleeves, so to speak, and has done whatever your hands have found to do. And we certainly appreciate you and Brother Ivan with the work that you all have done in the other areas of assistance. So that I know that you are as you say, you are a mother and you call yourself a Jane of all trades. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. And like I said, I have the bio here, but I'm gonna let you tell us like where you grew up, or who and just some of your influences, because you have it in this bio. But let's hear from you.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Many thanks. Greetings to all. It's lovely being here. I'm usually at the House of Reawakening Minds with Dr. G, but she asked me to come here and I accepted. This was an honor, basically.
Yes.
Many thanks and greetings to all. I'm just basically a Taina Moore. I'm a Borinquen Taina Moore. My mother and my grandmothers and things of that nature, like all the way down the lines, they were born in La Isla de Borinquen. And I was born here in Philadelphia, where I'm at. Where I'm at. Most definitely. So so there's a lot of lineage that I've been going down. I have both my grandmothers, so I'm grateful to have them here where I'm able to speak to them and ask these certain questions that I needed to ask. Just to get certain points of where we're at in life and the genes, basically, and the genial line. I see myself, I don't put myself at a pedestal, but I do see myself grabbing all of their great aspects and connecting it with mine, and basically just changing the things that need to be changed within myself. And I feel for my circle of loved ones, which is grand.
Yes.
It just keeps growing.
Right.
So yes, most definitely. And being with other sisters, I start to see the connections, which here, like just the fact that I'm able to speak with someone who is involved with the tribes and the clans and things of that nature. That's where we need to start. That's our foundation. That's something that we need to reverse ourselves back to, our minds, basically, the children, even even the adults, just asking certain questions to trigger their minds to answer. They will. You just have to ask certain questions. Just
Right.
ask them, things, where they're from, things of their childhood. Let them go back into those chambers. Let them take those archives and bring them out. They will. There's lots of different things that we can do. I know I was supposed to just introduce myself, but it's just going
Yes.
into basically what we're here to talk about. I start to look at the people, and you can see the sadness. You can read their physicals. You can see that there's something wrong. No one is happy. No matter how much money they're making, they're not happy. And if they are great, if they are that lucky to have a circle of loved ones in their home that they actually have support and love and they're able to build, not many do. And these are things that we need to work on to start from not only our circle, but other circles that are very close to us, and even on here online. If there's 400 people, that number should grow astronomically, like in an instant, because
Absolutely.
these are things that will connect us. Just us being real, just us talking about these certain topics and things of that nature. It will astronomically grow, because this is something where we definitely need to start. And Dr. G, like all of these things that you have brought on here, whether it's herbals, all different types of knowledge, all different types of civics, everything. All of these things are basically foundations where we should all start. And I'm so grateful. I thank you so much for all of those gracious things that you have done and brought to this world.
Well, thank you. One of the things that concerns me, me having been in the what you would call the Christian community for a long, long, long time prior to my awakening process, and I say process because you learn, a lot of times we'll say with a woke. I don't think any of us are entirely awake. I think awakening is something that progresses. You start to see, more and more. And a lot of the stuff I see, believe it or not, is in hindsight, like, oh, now I know what that was about and why that happened. But be that as it may, through my process and my journey, when you have people that you love that may, when you come out of something,
Mhm.
you could be in an organization, or it could be, it could even be family or marriage. It could be something. When you come out, there's a sort of a separation sometimes, and a
Mhm.
separation anxiety from people that you have grown close to, people that you've grown to love, and have interacted on the things based on the common grounds that are within that particular, say, organization or that family structure. But once you come out of it, then you're no longer a part of, and you have to, and a lot of times, say, bye bye, or to folks that really need to have the same knowledge and wisdom and experience that you're having, because it's almost like uh, you're everybody's caged in a corral, and you're
Mhm.
let's be sheep, okay, because that's what we are, that's what they call us in the church, and you're the
People.
sheep that jumps the
Mhm.
fence and realizes that while you were eating well in that pasture where you were fenced in, that there's
Mhm.
a much, 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 much larger, greener, tastier,
Yes.
fulfilling pasture on the other side. So now you're
Absolutely.
over there on that side of the fence, and you're trying to figure out how to tell the rest of the sheep, come over here, jump. You can jump. We know. Look, I jump. You can
Mhm.
jump. And because
Right.
and they're so, no, this is good, this is good grass here, this is good, whatever it is that, we get taken care of, we get led, back and forth. That sheepdog's real good, and doesn't bite us, it just encourages us to keep it, stay in line and stuff. And they don't know the value of, and I can't call it anything else but freedom. They don't,
Mhm.
because they've always felt that they're free. I think a lot of people, a lot of our people, regardless of what they believe or think they know, they think they're free. Except,
Mhm.
those that end up going into situations, say a child that grew up in foster care, or somebody who gets incarcerated. Most of the folks think that over here where we are, we're free. And then when you
Mhm.
get out of that so-called freedom, you find out how small the world is that you've been indoctrinated in. And not only that, how big and how magnificent and great you as a people are. But you can't
Yeah.
convince your people. It's really difficult in convincing people that they need to open up and to experience and learn new things. I mean, it's all right to be, whatever you want to believe in. But when we're talking about common ground now.
Mhm.
Common ground, most of us, for the most part, are indigenous, aboriginal. So
Yeah.
that's common. What does that mean for somebody that doesn't know? It means that,
Absolutely.
yeah, the story that we've been told, the narrative that we've been indoctrinated in or given, is made up
Mhm.
for the purpose of putting people under certain constraints. A lot of folks wouldn't believe it because, again, as I said, they feel like they're free. And we're saying not only are we not free, but we have been denied access to things that come with just being born, what we call birthright. And
Yes, most definitely.
you know what I mean? So I'm hoping, and that, because I put this particular broadcast even on my um, Facebook page, to run today, because I'm hoping that somebody will see it that wouldn't come here and on purpose, wouldn't come to, say, the YouTube page for the live, because
Mhm.
they don't know that they're not Negro, black, colored. They don't know that they're not
Mhm.
African American. They don't know that those slave ship pictures that we were, indoctrinated with and shown as growing up are, fictitious. They don't know the
Exactly.
absurdity of some of the things that we've accepted as truth. And again, like I said, in hindsight, as I've gotten out of things and stepped back, and I'll be darned.
I
I,
be
Yes.
darned. I
Mhm.
be
That
darned.
is, yes, most definitely.
didn't see it either. So I get it. There was a time when I didn't see it. There's a time when I didn't believe it. There was even a time when I didn't even consider that there was anything other than what I was aware of.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Very
so we, as the first teachers, mothers, were, I don't know what the Catholic priest, who he was, is by name, who said what he said, but it was true, and it's been scientifically proven. He said, "Give me the child for the first 7 years, and I'll show you or give you back the man." So those first 6, 7 years of life of our children are so crucial and so critical, that I can see why now, as time has gone on, we've gotten away from mothers in the home. And I'm not saying that we need to be, but when we were able to be at home and rearing our children, even though we may not have been teaching them everything that was correct, at least it was our influence.
Right.
Now we see influences, with the various, and I don't want to, I don't want to push any algorithms, but there are certain doctrines being espoused and so forth that we can't sit in classrooms with our children and cover their ears or say, "Don't you believe that?" They're being
Mhm.
indoctrinated with certain things and being prepared as that next generation. Could the reset possibly be about resetting the minds of,
Yes.
of the
Yes,
populace?
it could be.
Yes.
Could it be about, getting our children to agree and accept certain ideologies and doctrines that will totally continue the decline and destruction of our family structures?
Most definitely. Most definitely. It starts with the family. It starts with the circle of loved ones. It starts Basically, everyone who's been in schools, you start to see that's where the disconnect starts. They they are they're put into basically this social thing where in schools you don't see what's going on, first off. So you don't know what the children are really learning. You don't really know how they're structured, the learning is structured. From my experience and what I remember, it was always a disconnect. They always put you in groups. They always put you in competition in within your classmates, and they're supposed to be your classmates, they're supposed to be your peers, but everything is put in competition. So these are things that if our children were to stay with us, or at the very least stay with mothers who have children who are able to take care of other children, and just have all the children together learning, basically doing exactly what they're supposed to do, as far as learning what they're supposed to, agriculture, learning how to eat fruit, learning how to peel fruit, things of that nature, going into playing in dirt, all of those things. That's what they're supposed to be learning. They're supposed to be learning nature first. Nature is their first class. The same thing that you would learn within the womb. You learned water, you learned movement, you learned the basically all the feelings, the touch, everything. You learn all of those things and within the womb. So when you come out, you're learning other things. Now you're not learning how to feel in water. Now you're learning how to feel in a different element of water, which is air. Air is just water in a different element. So
Right.
now you have to sit there and you have to feel with those things. And depending on how big your aura and things of that nature, you'll start to feel those things, and you'll start to feel other people. I don't know if you ever walk by a person and all of a sudden you sit there and you feel the worst you're ever feeling in your life, and you feel depressed, and you're like, where did that come from? You keep walking, not knowing that the person that just passed you, if you were connected to your feelings, you would know, I need to talk with that person. He's like really down. In the past, we would do things like that, but now we don't even think of those things. We're not able to pick up these things anymore. And these are the things that keeps us together and keeps us learning from each other. The same thing with learning the zodiacs and things of that nature. You're not just learning zodiacs, you're learning how to deal with one another. You're
Mhm.
learning how to, okay, I can't come to a Leo and yell at that Leo and expect that Leo to listen. No, that's a lion. Like, come on, like, who is going to yell at a lion? It's not going to happen. It's all those different types of things that we need to start bringing back to our future, which is our children, and letting them learn those things, so that way when they come across others, they know when to reach out and when to actually give a person space, because some people do need space. These are things that we all should know. This is not
Right.
something, yes, these are things that should be taught in schools. All of that was taken out. We need to start doing those things again, bringing back feelings, bringing back why certain things are happening, why the reasons why all of this is happening in the world is because of the disconnect. So what is it that is that caused the disconnect, and start building on that. Start building on the connection of feelings, of pretty much everything. Just start all over. Start brick by brick, literally brick by brick. Demolish everything and start over. That's basically it.
Well,
Basically.
and I agree with you on every level, because the thing is that systematically we have been disenfranchised from our own families,
Yes.
or our own heirs, where the disconnect from, scholastics, from jobs, from the environment of where you live, how you consume where you live, down to the jobs, down to even when it comes down to media,
Yeah.
technology. All of these things have been placed to separate us.
Yes.
And, like right now, I'm in the house by myself.
Mm-hmm.
However, when we're all together, if the children are not on a computer, they're outside where they really should be to tap in on what you were saying, because the thing is that that's your greatest teacher. When being outside in nature is
Mm-hmm.
your groundation
Yeah.
for your life,
Yeah.
because you get your oxygen, your chlorophyll, you're able to stretch, you're able to see all of the different colors that are within nature, and you're
Mm-hmm.
able to not only appreciate them, but to come, if you have the right instructions, because the schools, they have become so systematic also, to where the scholastics, the faculties,
Mm-hmm.
they are out of touch. They have
Yes.
went inside these boxes, and they have taken these curriculums, and I think that when it comes down to the schools, like you said, tear everything down. They're wanting to talk about AI. They're wanting to talk
Mm-mm.
about the fastest search engine. And all of these things don't have anything to do with teaching your child
No.
the
Not.
basics that I got when I was a child, to say that, yes, there's been many generations that have come before us to be able to lay the foundation for us, but that was stolen in regards to us really being able to get the enrichment of who we are and where our place is. Like right now, we're being educated that we are the land, that we are the landlords, that we are the progenitors and the inheritors.
Most
But you're
definitely.
not going to get that in
Mm-mm.
schools.
Mm-mm.
You're not going to get that from the curriculum that has been uh, uh, passed without any of the parental. Now I'm going to say this: when it comes down to um, signing documents or
Mm-hmm.
signing your signature to
Mm-hmm.
giving your consent, basically, to things that don't have anything to do with the child.
Most definitely.
It goes all the way back to you saying being the first teachers, Dr. G. We
Mm-hmm.
are the first teachers. We don't stop being the teachers. We might disconnect from that ability because we're distracted.
Mm-hmm.
We're distracted from motherhood, friendship,
Everything.
jobs, relationships, and everything, to when, and I don't know, and I can't say for each individual. However, there has to be within you, because it's within us all, where
Mm-hmm.
you're able to tap into something is just not right here.
Most definitely. And that is our common ground. We all know that something's not right. We all know that this is the time to basically change everything. We
Absolutely.
all know this. It's all going, if you are feeling the earth, if you're feeling the energy,
Absolutely.
you know something is up. You
Yeah, the
know, you
vibration
feel
is
it. The
real.
animals tell you, the trees tell you when you walk by, they're like screaming these things at you.
Absolutely.
And so, yes, we definitely need to start. There's when you look at a child, and you could even learn from a child just looking at a child yourself. When they, my grandson, it's so funny. When he eats, his whole body eats. He doesn't just eat with his hands. No, his whole body eats. And I love my daughter for allowing him to do that, because some mothers would think, oh, he's getting dirty. No, she's like, let him go all in it. Just let him go. And
No,
he is happy, he's enjoying. And the best part is that when I come around and he's enjoying it, he wants to share. He's like, "Do you want some?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, it brings me joy." But these
absolutely.
are the things, these are the things, it's little things like that that we need to go back to. This definitely the schooling. The schooling, I have a couple of nephews whom I love, of course, but they are getting taught right now. Everything is robotic. They're being taught the Roblox. They're coloring Roblox. They're doing everything that has to do with, like, Dr. G and you all were saying, AI. They're making them focused on AI, looking outside of self when everything is within.
Absolutely.
Whenever they tap into drawing and things, anything like that, I light up. I'm like, oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Let me see more of that. I want them to be inspired by themselves,
Absolutely. To
not
express
anyone else.
themselves.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. And the fact that the more you open that up, the more inspiration they get, the more things they tap into, and you never know what genius you can be bringing up. So these are
Absolutely.
the things that we should definitely be just allowing the children to open up in. Schools, like you said, are not going to tap into these things. And
Well,
unfortunately,
and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to say
no.
when it comes down to schools and the infrastructure, it is a institution to deter.
Yes, it's
Look
made
at
for that.
how long it takes for you to get a certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Now they take 12 years to promote their agenda
Mm-hmm.
versus the child's agenda.
Yes.
Now, the graduation is supposed to be ceremonial
Mm-hmm.
because it is to say you made it.
Yes.
Now, after the cap and the gown comes off, a child does not have a clue
Very
because
true.
the instruction for a child doesn't stop there.
No.
However, we have been shown, we have been programmed to think that, oh, you can get out now, go get you a job.
Mm-hmm.
Where I have seen, because, okay, now when we jumped into the discussion, I did not give my, I guess, my background in
Mm-hmm.
regards to I come from serial entrepreneurs in regards to being indigenous, having their own businesses. So I have had a career of multiple job placements within my airship of just existing. Because that's what was really we can go from Black Wall Street to present day.
Most
That
definitely.
was our foundation from our forefathers, our ancestors, is to have our own.
Yes.
However, we have been, I can say, with Technicolor,
Mm-hmm.
with the many distractions, we have given our labor to someone else,
Yes.
when what we're talking about right now is pulling up your sleeves and putting in the labor.
Bring in the work. Yes, most definitely.
Because I mean, the only separation between us right now, because
Mm-hmm.
we know we're familiarizing ourselves with each other, is the exits.
Yes.
Now, what are we going to do?
Yes.
Because like you had said, like I said, I came from a family of entrepreneurs. I come from what was listed at one time before the real what you would call gentrification or disenfranchising our communities.
Mm-hmm.
I come from one of the largest indigenous communities on this side of the land mass, which is Lincoln Heights, Ohio.
Awesome.
And it was all self-sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
We had our own schools, our own fire department, our own MS emergency vehicles, our own pharmacies, our own skating rinks, our own movie theater. And the thing is that what needs to be, and you might want to chime in, we have to find ourselves back to ourselves,
Yes, most definitely.
because we've abandoned the post.
Yes, we did. Unfortunately, we did.
And the thing is that it's in our face now. That you might
Mm-hmm.
as well say the egg is on our face now. What are we going to do? And the reawakening and the reconnecting
Mm-hmm.
is where we are,
Most
because we have disenfranchised ourselves from ourselves, our
yeah.
communities from ourselves. We have went out and we have built these relationships with these man-made corporations that have taken us away from our abilities to continue to create.
Yes, most definitely.
I think
And
it's a dependency though that they've Grand Sheik Tashtriq Bey and myself, we joke about, the I believe, I don't even know if it's scripture. And look, I got a doctorate in theology, and I don't know if it's scripture, because sometimes we say stuff that
Congratulations.
you look in it, it's not really in the Bible, but they attribute it to. But
yes,
we say that the Lord giveth and the Lord
Lord,
taketh
take it
away,
away.
and then we've
Mm-hmm.
now depicted the Lord as the lords of the land, like the lords of London, as he talks about. And we say,
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they've given us dependency and consumerism for all of these years, and now they're taking away the things that we've become accustomed to and used to. Is it? And I'm asking this sort of hypothetically. Is it a bad thing though? Because you're talking about how what we used to do when we were self-dependent, when we had our own. You go back to the days of Wilmington, North Carolina, Wall Street, so-called Black Wall Street, and other places that existed that they buried in
Mm-hmm.
their
absolutely.
reconstruction.
In Philadelphia,
Us,
yes.
yeah, to make us
Mm-hmm.
think that self-sufficiency is something that we're just attaining in the 80s and the 90s, and when you go back, and they were the ones that, you look at some of these pictures and you go, wait a minute, look, those are modern Europeans there, and they look like slaves.
Right.
And the so-called slaves, or the so-called black people, they're dressed very well. So
Mhm.
The
we
script
now,
was flipped.
The script was flipped.
Yes.
yeah, we're
Absolutely.
beginning to see things, but only the awakening eye, the awakening mind can see it for what it is. Because when
Yep.
you're blind and when you're indoctrinated, something could be right in your face.
Absolutely.
And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times, and this has nothing to do with indoctrination, but I don't know how many times I'm in my bathroom or somewhere and I'm looking for something. I mean, I am I'm seeing, but I don't see. And then
Mm-hmm.
maybe 10 or 15 minutes later, I realize it's right there in
It's
front of
right
me.
there, like
Right
it
there in
was a
front of
dog
your
would have bit you.
Folks can see things, but not see things for what
absolutely.
they
Very
are.
true.
And so, again, we've been given the illusion of what we've been blessed with. We've
Mhm.
been given all of these of conveniences and all that, but were they conveniences, or were they designed to disconnect us from the natural abilities, the natural proclivities, the knowing, the being able to connect heart to heart, mind to mind,
The
Absolutely.
clairvoyance, yes,
not need
all
to
of
pick
that.
up
Absolutely.
a telephone or anything like that, but to be able to know when my sister or my brother had a need, because we had that knowing, that intuition.
Mm-hmm.
So, did they help us, or were these things designed to disconnect us from, like I said, the natural abilities? And if so, and I think they were, how do we get it back? How do we, as sisters, you know, and brothers, but how do we get back to who we were. And I think one of you said that we have to reconnect to ourselves. We have allowed ourselves to be redistributed, redefined in such a way that we don't even know. We fight each other over who we are when we are basically the same. We've just been put in different, little categories. You're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Hebrew Israelite, you're an atheist, whatever, you're this, you're that, whatever your gender preference is, and all. We've been put in all these boxes. Can you imagine? Everyone has a square around it, and it's confining. But if you break out the lines are the boxes. We need to learn how to spiritually. That's why with the war, the women are ready. I use that scriptural, and this is in the scripture. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Because when I think about carnality, I'm thinking about guns and knives. We're not going to take back all this stuff by this major overthrow coming up like a January 6th. No, that's not going to happen for us. We've got to go back to this, infinite mind.
Right, absolutely.
War, yes.
This ability, if we have to practice like every day at 12 o'clock, we say, okay, I want you to concentrate, sisters, for 5 minutes, 12 to 12:05, on a specific thing that we've already determined what that thing is. Do you know that if a certain number of people are thinking on the same thing collectively at the same time, we make that thing happen?
Absolutely.
But they got us doing this. We're like, everybody's going. It's like, no. They're never going. We want to throw this at Tucker Carlson, this at Biden, Trump, this reset, IRS.
I know when all of this finishes, I know when it all comes to basically an end, that we're going to take the longest vacation ever because of all the craziness that we went throughout our lives to get where we are today, which I am so grateful for the good, the bad, everything to get us here today. So yes, most definitely.
Absolutely. And I would just like to chime in on, in regards to us collaborating. The thing is that this is so real in regards to the paradigm shift, in regards to us coming together. I mean, because, and I'm saying, the morality and the ability to take yourself from where the mentality of a slave has really been it's been a forefront in regards to our day-to-day lives. We refer to ourselves as these hamsters on a wheel.
Chasing.
And how we are deprived from the mere ability to be able to have our status, to know our status as that we're not slaves, that we weren't ever slaves. And the narrative that was really given was to portray us and to put us in bondage.
Yes.
And we took that narrative and we have really superficially hurt our lineage in such a way to where we don't even identify with our genealogy. When it comes down to these surnames that we have, we don't know that we're tribe. We don't know that we're tribal. Because of the superficial identities that have plagued us. We don't, and my thing is the greatest thing that we have is love, the conception of love, because it wouldn't be if we didn't have love. Now they have given a real bad, distorted play by play, blow by blow of what has been afflicted,
Oh yes.
and we have ate it up.
Oh
We
yes.
you know we got chronic illnesses, we have chronic relationships, we have chronic everything because we don't know that all of the answers are right here.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to speak about briefly in regards to, um, I know that both of you are aware, and that in regards to government,
Mm-hmm.
there is a a movement that is going on right now in regards to the matriarch
Mm.
returning into what you would consider the body of politics,
Okay.
where we we're matriarchs every day by natural origin,
Very.
and the thing is that we haven't stepped into those positions because we don't have each other's back, like you said before we got on, before we came on,
Mm-hmm.
is that the discussion is not there.
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking at each other as we have the greatest support team
Yeah.
there is known to man, because I mean, if you refer to us as goddesses or mothers or matriarchs or
Mm-hmm.
warriors or warriors or sheiks,
Yeah.
shamans, we are the antidote.
Yes.
And it is where I think it's Sun Village, California,
Mm-hmm.
have out of the Orna organization, tribal government, that has opened up the matriarchic government within the city council, where they have allowed themselves to take the knowledge and to transform it into a body of government where we're seeing morality is coming back, because you have to stand on morals. And the governments in which we have seen that have fallen, that are not any longer, even
Mm-hmm.
though they are painting this elaborate showing that is still in order.
Mm-hmm.
It is far from in order.
Exactly.
It has fallen, and it has
Mm-hmm.
fallen because it doesn't have any morality.
Yes.
It does
That's
it
not
has
ethical at
It's
all.
not ethical. It does
Mm-hmm.
not, honor the people in which they have taken these quote unquote oaths,
Very
and
true.
these seats, and they have violated us all. And
Mm-hmm.
so the discussion has been, and it's been where, it's isolated because of the exits that we
Mm-hmm.
have in between us, because we're together.
Mm-hmm.
I've been speaking to people all over the country in regards to us uniting in a way where, I'm not looking for anarchy, even
Mm-hmm.
though you're going to have the ones in which that want to, uh, well, I'm going to say the naysayers in
Mm-hmm.
regards to where our truthful place is. Now, I went to some of the best schools in this country here in Ohio. And the thing is, they failed me. Okay.
Oh wow. Yes.
They didn't educate me to
Mm-hmm.
be able to, accept the love that was given, to be able to go into my community, to stand and to uphold the community in a way where the strong arm or the firewall was built.
Exactly.
because you have city councils within these confines of these communities that have went from towns to, I mean, not they're reduced to villages now where they were cities. And to be able to discredit our ability to govern ourselves. So it is that, I am willing to talk, willing to pray, willing to pull up on anyone, anywhere, because I know that we're most powerful in numbers.
Yes.
And the separate deficit that we are playing out with the narrative, I'll say, is that, we just haven't woke up to say, I really have your back. Yeah. I'm really here for you. I worked in two of the largest corporations on this land mass, and both of them had something that was so, I guess you could say, it was awakening, but it was alarming too. They had two rooms called the war rooms. And these war rooms were established for each of these corporations to be able to take their managers out of their offices, and whatever problem, whatever anything that was going on within the confine of the corporation, they would go in that room and they wouldn't come out until they had some type of resolution to be able to make that quota, make that, that whatever their brand was. And that's what I'm calling on. I'm calling on for the matriarchs. Of course, I'm calling on for the brothers, because this is not, we've been separate long enough. And the whole thing about the black and the colored and the nigger and these things have made us to be something that we're not. And that is to not know who you are. I was a little girl in 1966 in an auditorium here in this territory where James Brown was on the stage. Oh, wow. And James Brown was prolific in his deliverance to his community. And he professed, say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud. Oh, yes. Say that we took that as our anthem to be able to promote what we were still not being able to embrace, because it was not that we were Black, it was to disassociate us because we were Black. Very true. And what I'm coming to find as a mother, grandmother, wife, sister, confidant, all of these different titles in which we have come to take on in life, that, we're all one and the same, and that we are in need of each other. Yes. And we have allowed people to dictate to us who we are, where we are, and who
how we're supposed to look. Yes. Oh my goodness. How we're supposed to dress, all different types of stuff. Goodness.
I'm not taking anything away from anyone, because I can't. But what I can do, I can stand along with my sisters. Well, no, stand along with the Creator. Yes. Okay. Because the Almighty has given us this voice, this what makes us weak, makes us stronger, to have us sitting here. Yes. And I'm saying that all of the buffoonery that we have taken on as a indigenous community, it has to stop,
Mm-hmm.
because we're more stronger in numbers than we are separately.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not taking anything away from anyone, because I can't, in regards to what they have done in their life, what they have brought to the world. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to sit back and tell me that Walmart is closing in our community,
Mm-hmm.
Kroger's is closing in
Mm-hmm.
our community, and it's not alarming us,
Alarming. Exactly. That's alarming.
we have to collectively come together and know that we are, quote
Mhm.
unquote, no, know that we are the landlords,
Yes.
and get land and start producing for
Our own
our heirs,
foods.
for
Yes.
our
Our own
indigenous,
foods. Yes.
for our our existence, because we have become so dependent upon someone else till it's crippled us.
Yes.
And Dr. G, I just want to give thanks for your platform. I've said that to you, privately, when we first met, over the phone. But this is the thing in which our community, even though YouTube is the one who is hosting this,
Mm-hmm.
but we have the same capabilities to do our own tube
Of
and
course.
promote our own networks, our own media streams. And it is not too late, because of what has been uh, um, um, discovered in regards to law, and the way that
Mm-hmm.
law allows you to free yourself
Yes.
on so many different levels, to be able to claim your indigenous sovereign. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, um, um, I'm just so overflowed with knowing that we are autonomous, and that we have to stand in the autonomy to be able to promote this to the generations that are coming.
Most definitely.
Because the schools, they have their own agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to draw our own agenda and come together, and
Yes.
to bring it to fruition.
Yes.
Because I mean, these universities, they are really, and I'm not an academia prodigy in
Mm-hmm.
regards, Val Victorian and all of these things. I have self-taught myself, because I felt that the school system at that time, the strides that we were making in regards to our educational abilities to be able to promote ourselves. And I don't want to sound like we're separate, because
Mm-hmm.
that's far from the truth.
Yes.
Because we are one. There is no separation. However, it's been so blatantly put in our face, like, well, I live on this side of the town, so how
Mm-hmm.
dare I talk to you, or ask how you're doing, or you know
Mm-hmm.
if if you have an onion,
Oh my
because
goodness.
an onion can cure you from
Exactly. Head to toe.
oh, but yet, but
Head
yet
to toe.
but yet still, we have these barriers that have to be destroyed,
Yes.
and I'm just elated with you, just like with, I'm going to mention her name, Empress Verdesia, all of the ancients that have brought us here.
Yes, most
and and
definitely.
and I want to rally them and let them know that their work was not in vain.
Yes, most definitely. Not in vain.
So I'm gonna yield here, and I'm gonna open the floor to my sisters. But it is. Oh, and I want to say this about the ability for us to build our own governments is to take these cities back, and
Yes.
the matriarchs, meaning that the matriarchs, the elders, the sisters that have civics
Yes.
underneath, are within their confines to be able to teach.
Yes.
This is how it's done, because the FEMA is our endowment. These are our accounts that have been misrepresented
Mm-hmm.
in regards to our ability to aid ourselves.
Ourselves. Yes, that is true. That is true.
So if we're not going to correct it, I'm gonna tell you, my sisters, ain't nobody
Earth
gonna do it.
will. The earth
One
will
of the things
definitely.
I want to say that we, real briefly, we need to overcome the disease that we have been infected with called consumerism. I, for one,
Absolutely.
I know, and like again, you mentioned the stores that are closing. Those have become,
Mhm.
like I said, those were carrots, and those were the Lord giving us various things to become dependent upon, needing, wanting, and 9 times out of 10, when you look at the things that we become used to, they're harmful to
Yes.
us. They were not good things, and they had side effects. They had, even if it was just the fact that we'd be broke as a joke because we kept going back to get more of whatever it was. So we need
Right.
to get back to, like, I'm recently, folks who follow me on Facebook have seen where I begin to post, and I've talked to you about that, Sister Cyan, about the herbs that are growing
Absolutely.
in the backyard of the House of Reawakening Minds. And every time I think I've identified everything and the last bit is weeds, I find out that that's yet another medicinal herb. And
Mhm.
so we have, everything that we have that we need is actually being given to us by nature, by the Most High, by Mother
Mhm.
Nature, by Gaia, whatever your description
Right.
is. And we've
Absolutely.
got to attach ourselves to the addictions, to things that we never should have had from the beginning. The
Mhm.
things that we feel like we won't be able to live without. Our ancestors never needed those things, and
Mhm.
they thrived and they survived. They knew they never had to go. My son was in the hospital for 4 days last week, and unfortunately without insurance. So we can imagine what that bill's going to look like.
Mhm.
But how about grandmom and great grandmom would have been able to go out into the backyard and pick the herbs that he would have needed to deal with whatever the situation was. And as the old Ashford and Simpson song said, "Gonna cost you nothing," you know.
Doesn't cost
So
you
Right.
nothing and takes
Right.
it away a
yeah,
whole lot faster.
That's right.
right. So we've got to go back, as they said, to the old time way.
Yes.
We've got to not feel like it's a step down. Actually, to me, it's a step up to depend
Hmm.
on. And you mentioned it earlier, Sister Cee Asiah, Mother Nature, nature.
Yes.
I love nature. I
Hmm.
love the beauty of nature. I love the feel of nature, and it is so healing, like you said. So almost everything we need is actually here. We've just got to become undependent upon the things that have been given to us in order to. It's almost like a drug dealer will give you free drugs to get you hooked,
Hmm. Keep
and
you
then
coming back and
now you got to pay. And
Absolutely.
exactly.
you never had the ability to pay, but you were getting to the point of addiction. Now you're gonna rob, steal, kill, and destroy from everybody else to get what you need. As they say, rob Peter to pay Paul. We never
Right.
Hmm.
do that. And
Right.
teaching our children, that they don't need $150, $200 sneakers with somebody's name on it. That isn't your name more valuable than a Jordan? Isn't your name
Exactly.
than a Dior or all these, various things? We put ourselves into a place of consumerism. We want Jimmy Choo. We want you to see that the bottom of our shoe is red, and
Oh
stupid.
goodness.
Excuse me, stupid. And I want to say it like
Very
I feel it.
superficial.
Stupid shit. That's what I want
Yes.
to say.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It
We
is most
and our
definitely.
children have grown up, and we wonder why they are what is the term for them when they feel like they are deserving, like, well, this is everybody has this. No, everybody doesn't, because you don't.
Absolutely.
Everybody
Exactly.
doesn't need it, but our children have grown up into a world that makes them feel that they are entitled. That's the word I wanted. Entitled.
Mhm.
No, they're not entitled. You're not even free, little
Mhm.
boy, little girl. You're not even free. So put it, entitled doesn't, you're entitled to be free,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yes.
you'll never be free as long as you follow after the dictates of your captor,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of the
Exactly.
ones that have you secretly enslaved. You
Mm-hmm.
just,
Mhm.
the bars are so far out, that you don't even know that they're there, but you're in prison,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
the prison of the mind.
Mentally, yes.
So to
Mm-hmm.
me, House of Reawakening Minds, our task at hand is to at least get people to thinking about what they heretofore may not have considered. Because I said early on, many of my insights are like hindsights,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
but at least I see it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's worse to never see.
Right.
And once you get this, like, oh, that's what that was about, and that's why they did that. Then you have, like I say, those who forget the past are or don't know the past are destined to repeat it. And
Mhm.
we are privileged enough in our lifetimes at our various ages to wake up in the. I got a book over there that says "Awakening in the Middle of the Dream." That's pretty much what we've done.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. Well said. Touche.
Exactly.
We,
We're just rubbing our eyes, just
Yes.
getting up, and
Yes.
yes, most
yeah,
definitely.
the
Well
old song
said.
we used to sing, "Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream," right?
Dream.
Yes.
It's
Absolutely.
and life as it's been created for us has been illusion. The
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
reality is that we are greater than we think we are, greater than we remember that we are. But we are in a time, I believe, of remembering. We are in a
Mm-hmm.
time of reawakening. So
Mm-hmm.
that suggests that we were awake at one time. So we need to wake up again, but this
Mhm.
time stay awake and
Stay away.
And do
stay
things
awake.
right. Yes.
Stay alert, stay on our toes to be able to see each other as ourselves. When I used to say that earlier on, as I was first coming out of Christianity, and I was putting stuff like Namaste on my Facebook page, and I guess my Christian colleagues and friends and people like, well, what's she doing? She's putting, but Namaste. There was never anything that I ever said in church that was equal to that. What is that?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
The God in me
The
sees
Sees the
God.
God
and
in
Yes.
honors
you.
the God
The
in
God in
you.
me.
Yes,
Yes.
that's honor.
Absolutely.
That
That
Ah.
is
is
like
honor.
Yes.
something.
I see you.
I. Yes, I. That's the holy truth.
Yes.
So, folks just don't know because they've been told that's a bad word. That's a
No.
No.
bad, it's bad
No.
to think. It's bad to question not just the Bible, anything. It could be the Quran, it could be the Bhagavad Gita, it could be anything. At
Anything.
least have an open mind. That song, Tim, she sings that song, I need a free mind. Yes,
Mhm.
I
Yes.
need a free mind. I love that song. I
Yeah.
Yes.
need to
I
free
do
my
too.
mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so many people's mind are so cluttered with the lies and the distortion, and we pass this crap on to our generations. And I'm going to say this, and then I'm gonna yield the floor for that. I was doing some study, and I've mentioned it over the last maybe month or two ago, learning about the period of an earlier perhaps reset and how
Mm-hmm.
they used to do it. And it goes back a little bit to the times when in the early, I want to say 19 uh, maybe 20s, 30s or so forth, they were doing World's Fairs. And
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
they were allegedly building all of these massive buildings in really short time to be used as the staging grounds for the World's Fair, when what they were doing were using structures that had pre-existed from folks that appeared to be no longer there to enjoy them, that they didn't have the
Oh wow.
ability to actually have built those types of architectural structures, but they folks were gone. Who were the folks
Right.
that were gone? I believe they were indigenous Aboriginal people. They had, they talked about Seneca Village, which became um, Central Park, that it was
Mhm.
a thriving community of us. And
Yes.
they came through and decided that there was levels of sanity that they could gauge people's mentality on, and as a result, either in some cases they killed folks, but most of the time they institutionalized them, and they also put some in jail, some in insane asylums. They took back our very own structures and made what they call insane asylums,
Insane asylum.
Mm-hmm.
and put a lot of our people in there, and then they took the children
Claiming them to be crazy.
made them orphans, but
Mhm.
in their orphans, in
Mm-hmm.
their where they went to these Catholics, well, these schools and institutions for orphans, they indoctrinated them. So
Mhm.
people were wondering, and somebody even said it in the questions, I believe in the comments, how does generations lose? Do you lose? Because what you do is you destroy the older generation. You keep the babies. Remember, they already know the 1 to 7 is a good time to indoctrinate, and then you teach them what you want. You put all the older folks in jail or in insane asylums until they're dead, or you killed them,
Mhm.
and then you kept the babies, and then you cloned your own children. You made clone children, aka Cabbage Patch children, for yours, but
Mm-hmm.
you kept ours because you wanted to make us the new slave race
Mhm.
mentally, and it was
Mhm.
only
Exactly.
through indoctrination that
Mm-hmm.
this happened. So how do we unindoctrinate ourselves? Try to feed this knowledge, this enough to make people say, "Let me go study. Let me check into that. She's crazy." I love it when somebody goes behind me and goes, "Hey, I did find something on that." And I'll say, "Well, okay, there you go. You can't
There
unsee it.
you go.
You can't unhear it.
Exactly.
You can't unknow it." Now
That's the
it's only up to
absolute.
you whether or not you want to ignore it.
Mm. That's the truth. That
Yeah,
is the truth.
yeah. So that's, to me, now I know, and I confirmed it. I'm an intuitive, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what happened. That because I was baffled. How did we lose that knowledge of who we were? It killed us
Mhm.
and kept the
Mhm.
babies. Taught the
It
Mhm.
babies.
was a lot of guttural things that happened to us and our mothers. There was a lot of ugly things that happened. The killings, they literally sliced bellies. They let babies fall on floors. I mean, these are guttural things that one would never think of in the right mind. But these are things that have been done, and that's the reason why we were brainwashed, because our mothers, in the past, being in those situations, they sat there, and not that they allowed these things to happen, they had no choice but to basically take in all their doctrines, their indoctrinations that they like forced down into us. So that's all the hurt that we have to overcome, which is a lot of hurt. It's a lot of bloodshed that we literally we have to overcome. And that's the reason why, to me, we have to, once we awaken, like we are awakened, we are in the start of the awakening, and all of that, you see all of that, all the energies are at the same level, we're all awakening with earth and all of that good stuff. But what we have to focus on right now is the building. What type of schools are we going to have for our children? What are we going to put in place for them? Even if it's a group of people within the community, even if it's 5 people, even if it's 2 people, if they have children, how can you come together? Even if it's at parks, if it's someone's house, if it's somewhere, we all have to start somewhere. If we
Well,
don't have a place to go to, let's make a place to go. Outside is free. Go outside. We can teach the children outside. We can do things on our own. Have agricultural type areas where we can go and get food, like the sister was saying, Zion was saying. These are the things that we all need to start thinking of, because I know all of this stuff is gonna fall very soon,
mhm.
and we're not gonna have time to think about it anymore. We're gonna have to act fast.
Act
Yes, we're
fast.
gonna have to act fast. So all right, now if there's no foods in the stores, we have to prepare ourselves. How are we going to be able to get food? Who has food? If the people have food, how are they going to protect the food? Because if there's no food around, you have to think of others trying to come into your home and trying to take that food. So these are all things we have to start thinking of. This is happening very fast. This is not something that, like Dr. G and Grand Sheik Taj Tariq Bey always talk about, the fact that we have to put food away, we have to save water, we have to do all of those things. Okay, what if this happens tomorrow? What if everything just shuts down? Someone was saying that it happened in Florida, that all of the stores were shut down. There's many different talks about that. What are we going to do when that happens? What are we, like, let's say the schools close down again, they start this whole pandemic again. What are we going to do? How are we going to stop these things? That's what we have to find our common ground on. Where are we going to start these things? Is it going to be in someone's home? Is it going to be in a community? Where are we starting?
And yeah, you're right about that. And it was funny. There's this there's this site, and I really am kind of hesitant to talk about it because all the women are getting hooked on it. It's called Temu. But
Yes.
one of the things that I found that on Temu, and I ordered some today, is they have from 1 gallon to 10 gallon planters. Like they're the fabric above ground planters. You can get them one. I think it's 1 gallon, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10 gallon. And they're, instead of being plastic, they're like a black felt heavy weight that you can grow in. And they're like anywhere from $1 something up to, I think the biggest one I saw was like maybe 7 something.
Even reusing products, like not that we drink milk, but if anybody drinks milk or even gallons of water and things of that nature, you can reuse those and use that as a vessel basically for planting. Many different things.
Absolutely.
Right, but just to get started,
bags.
planting your own herbs and like you said, put canning. Sister Cynthia Martinell is going to be teaching canning classes because that's an old
That's
art.
an old preservative.
Yes,
Right.
all different types of stuff.
Yeah, how to make
Pickling,
medicinal.
yes.
We can't go to the store, like I said, with my son and get but how are we going to find the right herbs and make the right tinctures and concoctions and creams and things that we need to be taking for what, and then like you said, what is the network that we're going to use to get it to somebody who needs it, who maybe it's not right in your area, but I see you, sis. But yeah, who's going to be able to get that stuff? We have to create our own networks. They created networks based on networks that we created.
Yes.
There is and I can't find it in all of these books. There's one of my older books about, and there's something called, I think it's called Proposition 13, and I can't even think of the brother, forgive me, his name, but I've had that book for so many years. But the poem in there talks about pretty much how we forgot who we were, and now we're taught things, but we're taught by the ones that we once taught, things that we forgot that we knew. And so that's the problem with us. But there is a thing called cellular memory. I think once you purpose yourself to find or to restore those missing links in your, they talk about the Akashics that they say is everything is up there. So we need to be able to pull down those ancestral records of knowledge and get ourselves back into the right frame of mind from a standpoint of our universal holistic selves. And then we will be able, I think it'll come natural. I think like when I sit out in the midst of the herbs at House of Reawakening Minds, I feel like I'm in a wonderland.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
As you should. That's all medicinal. Yes.
And
come on down, sis. I need you down here. Y'all come down.
Okay.
This stuff.
Yes. Ohio's not that far.
No, it's not.
I'm talking to you, Sister Cee Asiah. You right up this.
No, compared to Ohio.
You're next door.
That is so
but
cool.
I would like to chime in here because I know that we're getting ready to get off here and I don't want to, but at the same time,
we got a little over half an hour left.
Yes, but when it comes down to it, on a collective note, in regards to us coming together, taking baby steps and strides towards it every day. I was just looking at this little brief documentary of this young guy who took a acre of land. He took an acre of land and he converted it into 6 figures within 10 months.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Because he took the 35 hours worth of work, the equity, and he put it into the earth. And see, that's the thing, is that we have come so accustomed to not relying on self.
Very true.
You know, we're looking outside ourselves like, yes, I am screaming to the rafters. Yes, let's come together.
Yes.
If there's 900 tribes of indigenous heirs within this landmass, let's get together.
Yes.
If there is our community that is not even willing to tap into this, it is our jobs. And I'm going to say this from a being that has went from the grassroots to go knocking on door to door to ask my heirs, how do you feel today? What would you like to see? What do you need? How can we do this? Because that's what we're missing. We're not willing to, get out of these cars. I was looking at a thing over in China. Everybody's on bikes. When you're talking about the air quality and you're looking at the environment, when we're talking about cars and everything, everyone has an ailment. But if you look like Dr. G is saying, you look to your yard, where in the back of your yard, you have a medicine cabinet.
Exactly.
When you look at, really your dietary laws, all of these shelf full of preservatives, not, really taking the maintenance that the temple really truly needs, and really doing it, we're letting someone else capitalize on our lives.
Yes.
Because we're not going into the backyard and assuring that, we have the burdock root, or we have the black walnut, or these are things.
And that's a deep medicine right there.
Right.
The black walnut.
Absolutely. When you're talking about pharmaceuticals, because pharmaceuticals, and not to even bring it up,
it's sorcery.
It's sorcery. I have a
definitely.
sister, unfortunately, that had gotten shot, and when it initially happened, they had her on almost 30 meds. And so I was curious, and so I went and got a medical digest. And I took the time to look up all of these. You couldn't even pronounce half of anything to know that once you read all of the contents, at the end of it, it was death. It wasn't a healing stream nowhere within this, but they have a publication that you can go out and buy to find out that everything that they have on the market is death. It is. I think that, with the Creator putting up with our abilities not to be in order and not to love him, her, in regards to being able to love self, to be able to inhale and exhale, to know that we're on a real mission here. Yes. And it can be accomplished. It is very possible. It's very not true. Impossible, people. That what makes us weak makes us stronger.
We
We can
need to
go
love
into,
each other. If somebody else
and we
said,
love each other.
Yes.
That's what this show is about.
yeah, we need to. I saw where somebody had put in the comments there was another show. I think I know one of the sisters on that show, but where the women were debating. We're not debating over here. We're trying
No.
to encourage one another. Man, I want to say I'd love to see an event where the sisters come together and we just simply, as for starters, just show each other love.
Yes.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah, just come
Let's do
together
it.
and love each other. That's what I think, because that
Yes.
becomes, I call love a weapon of mass construction.
Yes.
It will build
I love that.
something that is indestructible. But because
love that.
we don't love ourselves, it's very difficult for us to love each other. So when you can get a bunch of sisters, and everybody's not going to be necessarily on the same wavelength or energy length, if you will, but if they would have the courage or the gumption to come, if you have the stronger energy of love at the forefront, it will overshadow and
Yes,
overpower
it will.
anything negative. I mean, you can hold space for that sister or those sisters to finally begin to vibrate at the same rate that love was at 528 hertz. And I just see a 528 hertz Sistar love retreat.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Just to love. And
Yes.
then after that, then we start, okay, now that we got that out of the way, we got that foundation laid, not out of the way. That's a foundation we can build on. And I know we don't have a lot of time because, like you said, there are things that could happen. We could wake up tomorrow and they say, all the banks are closed.
Exactly.
You get any, every gas station is shut down. So what are we gonna do then?
We need a backup plan.
Right.
Backup plan where to meet each other. Yes.
I would like to, comment on that, like in regards to these apparatuses, these computers, all of these things that we rely on in regards to communicating with each other. There has to be okay, now here it is. The season has changed. The weather is permissible. We need to make dates, stay with them, and get there.
Yes.
Because the thing is, the urgency is when they gave the pandemic, when they started dropping names of who did what and why. That was the call.
Yes.
That was the call. Now, what are we to do now? Because with the matriarch order, and I don't want to sound separated from anyone's contributing. I think the women, the woman, the sisters,
yes,
we can do this.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about country to country.
Yes.
Connecting now, not tomorrow, now. Because if one man, that's how they had it titled, one man, 35 hours a week within 10 months and he's feeding not only himself, his own homestead, he's feeding his community.
Yes.
So if he can do that, I can put in 35 weeks, 35 hours a week to connect with you, to let you know that, okay, you might have been misinformed. You didn't know.
Exactly.
Well, what you do have is the divine order that has pervaded over everything.
Yes.
That's why we're here. And we have to because, I know that there's a mandate and, everybody's saying this is happening and that is happening, but everything happens when the creator wants it to happen.
Exactly.
Divine time.
In divine time. Yes. So we can sit up and go off of their time. Why don't we go off of what the Most High has given us and work with that and be diligent in that?
And you know what? I heard someone in the comments say something about not to leave out a man or men.
Oh
And
no.
no,
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 no, no.
and
We need the
no,
men.
no, 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 no.
but just like anything, like in anything, sometimes you have to seek to get
Mhm.
right with your own first. So we're starting at our gender, meaning sisters have a way of being. We've been taught to be so catty and so what I selfish in a sense,
Mhm.
and selfish is good sometimes, but the right selfishness.
The
Because
right
I
focus,
did
yes.
a post about being selfish, and I was talking about self love and self care.
Mm-hmm.
But from a standpoint of us learning how to, it doesn't matter whether your hair is long or short, your skin is light or
It
dark,
doesn't
No.
if
matter.
your
If
hips
you wear a lace front,
are
if you
Valentine's or
don't
you
have
look like
no lace.
right, whatever. We are sisters, and let us
Yes.
start, and then
Absolutely.
we will learn how to love our husbands, our sons, our brothers
That's
better,
right.
and working together. We don't want to. We're not trying to be the man. You are the men. We're the womb. We're the woman,
Yes.
but not the men. And
Mm-hmm.
men were created, to be who you all are, and we need to work together. But we're saying we got off track. So
We
let us
did.
get ourselves on track so that
And
we
then
can be
yes,
better help
everything will fall in
with
suit.
you.
Yes.
We can walk side
Yes.
by side and do this work together. But we're saying let us get ourselves together because we're not right. We're not right. We've been taught to, think that we need to sling on a pole, or we need to, look a certain way, or
Mm-hmm.
snatch our waist or
The
get
hating on each other. Come on,
crazy
like we
stuff.
need
But
to
see,
stop.
but that I think that was
Mm-hmm.
that was orchestrated, in regards to us having a false sense of who we are in the
Mm-hmm.
equation of
True.
life. Because my thing is, if you don't know, you don't know. Okay.
Exactly.
However, with everything that is being shown to us, everything that has been covered up from us, it is really clear
Oh yes.
who we
Right.
are in the equation. Now,
Mm-hmm.
my thing is that the task that has been presented is that we don't know ourselves. And how is that? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to speak on this, and I'm going to say the religion
Mm-hmm.
has separated us. Books have separated us. But
Mm-hmm.
when you take away the books and the religion, what do we have outside of the source that we all come from
Mm-hmm.
and ourselves?
Yes.
So if we can not look away, not in regards to, diminishing anything, but to look at it from the order standpoint
Mm-hmm.
of being able to have relationships in order.
Yes.
I think that Babylon, if that's what you want to call it, or society, or the populace,
Mm-hmm.
it has given us a bad rap.
Oh yes, most
It's
definitely.
giving us a real bad rap, and it's really, like I said early on, you know, um, we're autonomous. We're
Mm-hmm.
free men and free women. And we don't know that because we have taken on this false representation from these people. And I don't want to say these people in which that don't have their own best interests nor ours.
Right.
I will say it like that, because we have contributed so much, and we have given so much, and so much to give. It's just not over. The world, it pervades forever.
Mm-hmm.
It is not ever going to go anywhere, and we were constructed, we're immortal.
Oh yes, most definitely.
So when we start taking on these false sense of, what has been, like I said, illustrated for us to be distracted from, and then we turn and snap our head back, we're meant to be here. We're meant to be and take hold of our lives and govern ourselves, and be able to be our own governments and be our own banks, and to really be sustainable in being able to know that we are victorious.
Yes.
And I know that it can be done because look at where we're sitting.
Yes.
You know, I didn't know that I didn't know about Dr. G say a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I started, you know, here and there in between life, I came to know a platform that is really truly ours, you know, because, you know, you look at PBS, we're going to use PBS. PBS is supposed to be a public free domain in
Very
which
true. Yes.
we are supposed to be able to go and have accessibility to what is going to promote life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to say, Empress G, Mama G, Dr. G, however you want it to be, you know, said,
Yes.
you have trumped them with this because
Most
this is
definitely.
what we need and we don't have it. You know, and I'm not taking anything away from Black excellence, and because we're not Black, we're excellent,
We're
but
excellent.
we're
Yes.
not Black,
Not at
you
all.
know. So,
Yeah, yeah, and that's another thing. Folks have, you know, there are so many things that we have become accustomed to. You know, we don't want to let go of the, like. Okay, so we're not black, but what am I going to do with my BLM T-shirt? What am I going to do with my, um, the
Burn it.
or
Make it
even
cool.
even when, we say like, well, Jesus means justice, and a lot of things in the Bible. Well, wait a minute. What about all the songs with the name in it? we don't want to we don't want to let go of stuff once we find out, okay, it's not good, but how can I keep what I've been accustomed to, and knowing that I'm not this, knowing that this is not true. And that's how we are. We don't want to let go of stuff. we
well,
we, we want to hold on to it even though we know it's not good. And that's part of our problem. Again, I guess that goes around along with indoctrination, that we become, used
Mhm.
to things. And but like I said, the Lord's taking it away, so to speak, is not necessarily a bad thing. When you
no.
think in terms of it's forcing us to go back to what we knew and what was natural, what was pure, what was holy in the sense of separate.
Is the unconditional love, the being able to love each other without judging, being able to be
Absolutely.
around each other, knowing that if you're in the if you're not in the right state of mind and you say something wrong, me knowing that you're not in the right state of mind, I shouldn't be affected by it. I should just allow you to say whatever you say and then come back whenever you're in the right state of mind, and then yes, we can talk about it. But
And
for me to sit there and put fuel to the fire knowing that you're not in the right state of mind, all of these things have to change as well. Like we have to start with ourselves. So yes, it is good to be selfish sometimes.
Right.
So being selfish is not always a bad thing.
no.
Start with yourself, self-reflecting, knowing what's right, true, and true to your heart, and stick with that. It has nothing to do with any of the other categories that they put out there for us. All of that is division. We are one, and that's it. That is
That's
it. So
it.
get
Like those
used to it.
pictures they used to show those of us, and think in terms of how we become with the we want our hair straight and we want our skin bright and different things. But if you see the pictures from the old time, not the slave pictures, but just the old pictures, a lot of them, they were just so, hair was what we would call nappy, and there was no
Beautiful.
makeup, and that they didn't have lips, but they were who they were, and
Hmm.
they didn't seem to be judging. They were naturally who they were, and we got, taught, gotta look like this, gotta be this size, gotta have this, that, and the third going on, and none of those things matter because I grew up in a time when I was self-conscious, growing up, and all the quote unquote pretty girls were pretty coming up in junior high school, high school, and I felt like I was just like, now most of them, I think we got an echo here, but most of them are, now when I see them, they don't look like me. I'm not going to say exactly, but you know what I mean. Things have changed, and
No,
so
yes,
the
yes,
things
most
that I thought, like,
definitely.
if I had been that back then, maybe I would have been like them back now. But I cared enough about other people. I wanted to be their friends, and I thought you had to look a certain way. Sisters have to get away from that. We have to
Yes.
get away from those superficial. You got to look, have, and all that in order to be my friend.
Mhm.
We're just sisters.
Yes.
We're just sisters, and we need to love on each other um,
Yes. For who
based
we
on
are. Yes.
we're sisters, and that's what, like I said, we need to come together, and we need to just have a straight out start out with a love fest. It's just about love, a healing and
Hmm.
love. Say those of us who are energy workers and so forth,
Yes.
love and touch, and Reiki, or if that's what you do like I do. We need to do that until we all come together and feel like one.
Yes. So if there's a lot of crying involved, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
a good thing because that means all of it is getting released. So yes, most definitely. We can definitely do that. So you have that the event that's coming up. That's a great event to go to as well. So that would be amazing.
Let me see. I have you muted, Sister Zion, because some echo. The echo is apparently is coming from your. Let me open you back up. But the echo is coming on your side.
Okay.
There
Okay.
you go.
I
Okay,
apologize.
that's okay. So
Yeah.
did you have something else up? Like a
No, I was going to ask what event was she speaking about?
where are you talking about July?
July, yes.
July 28th through the 30th, we actually have a our next event coming up for the house that we had to save the date. It's called Up Close and Personal, July 28th through the 30th, 2023, 3 days. And part of it, actually, let me go. I got the wrong banner up. We have a newer banner. I'm sorry. Here it is. It's the Soulful Summer Gathering and Strategic Planning Retreat, Friday, July 28th through Sunday, July 30th. And it's going to be here at the House of Real Awakening Mind. So on our website, you can actually save 30 30 notes on 2 tickets, like right about now. Let me figure out how to get this. I'm stuck, y'all. Oh, here we go. Let me my little thing won't let me get this off. Let me figure out how to do this, y'all. Okay. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. So that's coming up July 28th, 29th, and 30th. And we even have a piece where we go walking and doing, we're going to do plant identification. We have the bags already, so everybody gets a bag. So if they want to do a little bit of foraging and so forth for medicinal herbs. And so that's on the last day. But we are coming together in hopes that on Saturday, that's a 12-hour day for that one. We have a retreat, break with breakout sessions and so forth. So we'll be planning and then coming back together to kind of, of course, it's not just women, it's women and men. But
Yes.
Right.
yeah, it's all of us together. So we want to, but I'm really talking about something that the sisters can come together. I understand that somebody was put in the chat that there's an event that Brother Rod has been talking about of the glow up. I think I saw coming
Oh
up
my, yes.
in Miami. So and we wish them the best for that. I don't know what the date is, but it's sometime during the summer. But for those who can't get to Miami, maybe we can get a group of us to come together somewhere. House of Reawakening Minds would gladly host it. It's just that we're not large enough to have everybody that maybe would want to come. So we'd have to put limitations on the number of people who would come just to make sure that we could, accommodate everyone. But I would love to do that. And I mean, when I'm saying bring some, rolling on the floor, snotting clothes, so
And and
we,
and I would like to reiterate too, because Rod Hayes has spoke about it's a sister from out of Miami that
yeah,
is
that's what I
giving
just said, the glow
That's
up.
the glow up.
the glow up,
And
yes.
that too is something that we need, is that we need to heal.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm trying to
Thank
figure out
you.
why my thing doesn't want to move to the next. Oh, maybe because I'm not in the section where it moves to. Sometimes you lose track. When I'm doing this and I'm interviewing and I'm putting little the banners running under. It's like rubbing your head and patting your belly. It's like, oh, did I? Where am I? I'm in the wrong stuff. Won't move. But yeah, but we need to come together and talk about these things. And like I said, I really strongly feel like, and especially talking to you, talking to you, the audience, that we need to come together. The sisters need to come together first to just for the healing part aspect of it, so we can work together, so we
Yes.
can talk about stuff. Because you know what, I never thought about it, but this is stupid. But we no, there's no stupid.
No,
No stupid people, but there's
no stupid people.
no stupid people. But
Boy.
but I'm just saying, how do we know that the quote unquote beautiful people don't feel some kind of way, that they are being held to a standard that they don't really want to? You see what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
look the way they look.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a whole conspiracy again to pit us against, in as many different little boxes as they can put us in. They all stand to or serve to separate us, to divide us. And when we're divided, we're easily conquered. And
Yeah.
that's what I believe has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have to stop looking at each other other than spirit. We're spirit first, and body comes next and all that other stuff. But we're definitely spirit first.
Right, in
And
different containers. You know what I mean?
yes,
Right.
One
Right.
spirit in different containers. We are God deciding to experience itself in as many
mhm,
millions and billions of aspects as it wants to, and that's
That's
all
true.
right because you're God. We
exactly.
are. I think I've heard Billy Carson and others talk about it. We are fractals. So what is a fractal? It's just a splinter of the whole. We are,
Exactly.
but not only is it a splinter of the whole, it is the whole also.
The whole also, yes, it just look.
Oh, hey,
It
we're,
is, yes.
we're fractal. And even though Nature Boy was, I felt like a little bit off the. I interviewed him on my blog talk before he was that far off the box. But when he would say reflection,
Hmm.
when they would address each other as reflection, that was saying, I am you and you are me.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
most
There
definitely.
was nothing wrong with that. His other stuff was bizarre, but there was nothing wrong with that. That's like namaste. God in me
Yes.
sees, and God
Absolutely.
in you.
Hmm.
So there's certain things that we have to get into our universal mind together that will help us. I just think, in my opinion, to begin to come together, that find the common ground. This is what this is about. Sisters standing on common ground.
Yes.
That's right.
It's a you may be
Absolutely.
tall. No, wrong. I may be short and you may be tall. But we're standing at this on the same ground.
Yes, we come in many shapes, many sizes,
That's
many
right.
shades,
Absolutely.
and we're all here for the same reasons, and that's to rebuild.
That's right.
Mhm. So Jay,
Most
I'm
definitely.
Mariah said let's form a sewing group. I think that's
We
great.
can, yes. I would love to do that.
I would
Yeah,
love to.
I
I
sew,
got a
I
brand new
sew, but
sewing
I
machine.
would love to learn
I can
embroideries.
stitch a
I
little bit.
would learn anything.
Yes, yes.
Anything. I love anything that's made with the hands. We were given these things for a reason.
Absolutely. That's
Yes.
the truth.
We need to come together with our various skills and gifts, because that's where community gets built. Like, we
Yes.
think without them we'll have nothing, but if we did a proper assessment, we're like, well, damn, we got it all within us.
Come
We
on.
got it all. Yes, most
We got it
definitely.
all.
The
Yes.
talent, the ability,
We
the
got it
Ask
all.
ask our children or even little ones that have been around us. They look at us as heroes.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
you got healing. Sister Cee Asiah gave the first time we came together back in, like, I think around August, to work on the project for the house, A Real Awakening Minds. I believe that's when you came in the first wave, and
Yes.
she gave us all. She gave us these jars of something. She said, "This is a cream that I made," and she has no name on it or anything, but it takes away pain.
It Takes away everything.
It
Yes.
takes away pain and stuff, and it smells good. And she made it. I don't care what's in it. Well, I do. I know it's natural, but I'm saying
It's
that's
all organic.
yeah.
All organic,
But
essential
see, she gave
oils, all good stuff.
she gave. I should actually. I have 2 jars, but she gave us a jar of this stuff, and I like if the sciatic nerve starts acting up, or I get a something in my shirt, I put the cream on, and it takes away the pain. You know, it makes the pain comes back eventually, maybe next day. But if for anything else, topically, it never heals you, and it's not safe.
Right.
She's created something that literally takes pain away.
Mm.
And
Yes.
well, how much? And she's like, "Oh, I made it." And she gave it to us.
I sell it for 20, but to me, it was given to me by the Most Highs, and I'm here to share it. So it's like I can't put a price on it.
But I told her she should market it, so I'm glad you finally did decide to do that. But what I'm saying is, it takes away pain.
Yes, and
my oil grows hair.
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness, my daughter's
one of my customers.
My daughters wear it every day, so my children rather.
But I'm saying,
right.
There's so many, right? But there's so many things out there that you all do.
Yes.
Not just us, but you all do. That when you put it together collectively, it's our community. It's
our own store.
System.
Absolutely.
We have our own Walmart.
Right. So you make
that part.
Right. We've got it. But I think we're afraid to step out.
The fear is real.
Right. Yes. The fear is real.
It's okay. We're all in this together. We're gonna hold hands and we're gonna do it together.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because
I'm with it. I'm stepping forward. I'm stepping wherever we need to go. We're gonna climb. We're gonna do whatever.
We had our last event, sister. I know I'm lifter, but Sister Cee Asiah did the food for I think for Saturday. Folks she made the vegan. She made something for Friday night for our born day solar return celebration. But on Saturday she made these. Anyway, folks, next time you make them smaller because more people can go back, feel like they have seconds and thirds. She cooked for us and did stuff for the event and made. So I'm saying she's a chef. We nerd. She's a herbalist. Besides being a mother, she paints and puts together things that So all of these things. So
you know what? When it comes down to a mother is her talents are endless, and then you don't tap into them until you acknowledge that for one, it's from the inner and it's coming to the outer, and that's why I am so committed and determined to reconnect us, because we have been what you would consider not lovers of ourselves, not lovers of each other. They have the word hate, like you see stop signs. And my thing is that we have to reconnect. We have to recommit. And the churches, and I'm not, taking anything away from anybody's relationship with, the Creator. I can't. However, if you're going to do a disservice to the community in which your bricks, your infrastructure, your foundation is on, you're not going out and really, okay, we're gonna refer to the sheep, and you're not going out to, I'm not talking about vacation Bible study. I'm not talking about, we're gonna have a car wash. I'm talking about really going out here and getting to the needs of the people, because every Sunday, every moon of a Sunday, you got a collection plate that is going around that, not only the parishioners that needs the assistance or what comes with it, Not, and the flock is outside of the church.
Very true.
Because the flock outside of the church is where the real administering and the real ministry is, and where it lies, because not only are we messengers, but we're ministers.
Yes.
To the flock, and it's just sad that, and I'm saying this very humbly by saying this, it's sad that we have taken ourselves away from what has hurt us the most. We have turned our backs on ourselves. Because if you can go by, and I'm not taking anything away from anyone, because now that I know that when it comes down to mortgages, when it comes down to purchasing, when it comes down to commerce, and how we have been, we've been raked over the coals.
Well, we're going to have to go a little bit more in depth in that the next time we come together. Unfortunately.
Well, it was lovely. Oh my goodness.
I just love it.
I'm throwing a plug out there, y'all. I'm having a presentation. I need some folks to show up in my presentation tomorrow. Please text me invites. Oh, you don't have to buy nothing. I just need about 45 minutes of your time, and I'll send you a link so that I won't be on there by myself, and the lady won't think that I lied when I said I knew people.
Okay.
Some of y'all probably already got a text from me like, please, here's an invite. Please log in. Give me like 45 minutes of your time tomorrow at 8:30, and maybe 30 minutes. I just need folks to show up. So it's going across there. Y'all know my number by now by heart, 302-345-0500. Invite, and I'll send you a link, and you can come on. Got that out of the way.
All right.
Friday.
Well, we need to connect. Sister Zion, we need to connect. Because I tell you, there's a lot of people to start over here.
Connected.
Yes.
You might as well say we're connected at the hip. We're Siamese twins.
Yes, most definitely.
Absolutely. You can have my contact.
Foundation
call me. We can get together. I am available for the work.
All right.
We'll make sure y'all get each other's numbers. Friday. That's 3 days from now.
Right.
What's happening 3 days from now? This. Grand Sheik and yours truly. Okay. Live cities class at the House of Reawakening Minds.
Absolutely.
7 to 9:30. Doors open at 6:30. We hope that you can come, and we're going to be doing that every fourth Friday, except for the fourth Friday in July, because we're having our weekend event. So hopefully you can come out and be a part of that. The last time it was pouring down raining, but thank you for coming, Sister Cee Asiah. We have folks all the way from Chicago and different places but if you can come this Friday, we would be happy and glad to see you up close and personal at the civics class. We used to do it twice a month before the pandemic came along, and then everything kind of shut down for that. So we're back. And this was absolutely amazing and exciting, and some of you out there have inspired with your comments and so forth, and we're going to be now you all go and meet 1 million women each. Look. Yes, we will. You will go meet 1 million. We will.
We will. Yes. The men are involved too. So
right, brothers. Sometimes the brothers send texts about the war, and I have to say, and I look at the name and I go, "Are you a man or a woman?" Because I'm thinking, and they'll say, "I'm asking because the war stands for the women are ready." But we need your support.
Yes.
We need your support. I want your love. We need your support. So we're not doing this to emasculate you. We're get ourselves together because we've fallen off. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. We've been lured into the craziness by all of the propaganda. And we want to come back to our right minds, and we want to free our minds.
Absolutely.
And so we just need to first work with us, but we always need to work with you. So we do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we appreciate that too, So anyway, let me see. Everything and everything is you. Oh, good. Thank you. Okay, that was another language. I was like, what is that? Um, Thank you so much. I like this. Look, I've heard and now I have received. Thank you. You are welcome.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, praises.
And
13 love to all. Yes.
chairman of the board says, "Grand evening, sisters, and great show and conversation." Thank you.
Yes.
Peace and love.
I was agreeing with
Peace
you
and
last year.
13 love.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We
Most
appreciate you
definitely.
all.
Guidance and protection to
And
everyone.
hope to see you, the
Yes.
ones of you we can get here this Friday. The weather should be great. If you get here early enough, I'll take you out in the herb garden.
Okay.
We can go out to the herb garden. All right, y'all. I think this was a wonderful conversation. I think it was very thought provoking, and it's something for us to build on. And I think
Of
I
course.
don't know. We'll find out when the glow up event is, but and try not to be in conflict with that, so people can
Right.
do both. And then we see we
I
can
mean, we're gonna forge together.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I solicit your prayers for a quick healing after my surgery is on coming up in
Absolutely.
weeks.
Oh
So
man, yes, most
you know,
definitely.
yeah, so I want to I want to be where I need to be by July 28th, 29th, and 30th. And I will be. I will be. So
Okay.
Absolutely.
appreciate you all. Appreciate each and every one of you who have been watch this again. Share this, even though
Yes.
some folks may not have been able to see this, but yes, please share this. And we're still taking names for the war, and those will be the first sisters that will actually get the invite when we do what we do. All righty then. I think that's it, y'all.
Thanks so much. Peace and love. Peace and 13 love.
Yes.
You all
Yes.
have a great evening.
Yes.
Love
Thanks
you.
for coming out.
Love
All
you
right.
both.
Dr. G. Really? Who's she? Yeah, that's me. Dr. G. Really? Who's she? Yeah, that's me. Dr. G. Really? Who's she? Yeah, that's me. Dr. G. Really? Who's she?